Happy Japanese New Year. We're back with exciting predictions for the year of 2022. Throw!
Roll the salt, get in the ring. Welcome to the Dohyo.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dohyo here on MrJWags channel. It was an interesting and fascinating 2021 in sumo. We lived it, we watched my recap which we have just put out, but now it is time to look forward into the 2022 of sumo. Got some thoughts. Now, this is not going to be predictions for the January Basho. We're shooting a separate video for that. These are predictions for the entire year of sumo. And because there are 10 months in the year, I have 10 exciting new predictions for the upcoming one. You sure? So apparently there are 12 months in a year, but we have 10 exciting predictions for the future of sumo in 2022. Our first prediction for the upcoming year, we are not going to have any more Tokushoryu surprises this year. Not this year, we're not going to have that. And by definition, I mean we are not going to have someone very, very low in the Maegashira ranks end up grabbing a Yusho out of nowhere. We might have a Yusho like Tochinoshin had, something from Maegashira 3 or 4, but nothing from like really deep down on the Bansake. Now, prediction number 2, which is related but a little bit different. While I don't think anyone is going to sort of jump out of nowhere and grab a Yusho, I do believe we are going to end the year with someone up in the Joijin who has not yet made their makuuchi debut. So that would be people like Oho, who will be making his makuuchi debut in the upcoming tournament. Wakamotoharu, who of course is the brother of Wakatakakage. Young phenom Kitanowaka has just hit Juryo. And down in Makushita, we have some fascinating young wrestlers led by Terunofuji, the brand new phenom out of Terunofuji's Isagahama stable. And of course, we still have guys like Roga and Hokuseihu who still have time to work their way up into Makuuchi this year and make a good impact. I believe this year we are going to see these two wrestlers in the Sanyaku for the first time, Hoshoryu and Ura. Now, Ura, I know he's been around forever, but he has never made the Sanyaku. He's so very close. He only needs a strong Kachikoshi this time, and he'll be right up there. Hoshoryu has been floating and, flirting up with, Maegashira 1, almost up there, but hasn't quite had that one tournament where you've been like, yes, this guy's going to make it up into the Sanyaku. I think we're going to see that in 2022. And in addition to that, I think these two wrestlers are going to make it back up into the Sanyaku. Abi, now I've been on the Abi train for a little bit now, but I think he is very underranked where he is, even at Maegashira 6. I think he deserves to be up facing the best wrestlers every tournament, and I think we're going to see him have a couple very good tournaments up in the Joy area, which is going to punch him back up into that Komusubi rank. And lastly for this prediction, Endo. Now, it's been a couple years since Endo's really, gotten up to some nonsense, but I have a feeling at some point this year, Endo is going to come up with something that will surprise us all. And I'm betting it's going to be something that gets him to Komusubi. Now, of course, as we just mentioned in my year in review, I had a lot of intai or retirement predictions coming into last year, and fortunately, we didn't lose as many people as I thought we were going to. We, of course, lost the Yokozuna and personal favorite and channel favorite, Ikkyoi. But unfortunately, I think this means we have postponed a lot of those people who I thought were going to retire last year are going to end up retiring this year, or at the very least, they're going to be out of Makuuchi by the end of the year. And these, of course, are old favorites like Shahozan and Sadano Umi. And this tournament, unfortunately, we could see the demotions of Tochinoshin, Aoyama, and Kaisei. So as I always say in these situations, just every single time we get to see these guys have another match, let's enjoy it, and let's see if Tochinoshin can pull out the Sky Crane just 1 or 2 more times. Now here's a happy prediction for the 5th prediction. I believe that Mitakeumi will finally successfully complete an Ozeki run. Alright, I know I have said this many times before, but if I'm going to be wrong about Mitakeumi, I'd rather be wrong hoping and believing in him. So, he's 30. I think this is his last real shot to do this Ozeki run thing. He could do it this next tournament if he gets like a like a 13. Don't think that's going to happen. But I think he's at the point where his skill level is consistent enough, and the rest of the Banzuke isn't quite up to his level. We can see him get double-digit wins for like 3-4 in a row, and that might be enough to finally get him to Ozeki. And next Ozeki prediction, not quite as good. I think we are going to lose Shodai as an Ozeki next year. I just don't see anything of the sumo he had last year in that amazing sort of 7 Basho stretch where he got his Ozeki rank. But ever since then, not since January of last year, has he come up with double digits or anything looking like the spirited sumo that got him that rank. I think this is the year the cartoon sumo starts to lose a bit of its magic, at least enough that he's not getting Kachikoshi regularly at the very, very top of the division. Now Takakeisho, I think he's going to go kadoban at least once, but I do think he's going to hold the rank to the end of the year. I mean, the real question is if we get to a point where we have to like field promote an Ozeki because we have too many Ozeki kadoban, but we'll see if that happens. Alright, now we're getting to the real tough predictions, where the sumo rubber meets the sumo road. I believe we are going to have one first-time Yusho winner in 2022. Yes, like I said before, I don't think it's going to come from the low Magashira ranks, but I think someone is going to leap up like Daisho or Tochinoshin did and grab that first Yusho. I believe one Yusho next year will go to either Mitakeumi or Takakeisho. I believe both of those guys are going to get at least one jun-yusho each this year, but one of them is going to be able to pull out a Yusho. As we know, you don't need a Yusho for a successful Ozeki run, but it would certainly help Mitakeumi, and I'm still holding on to the hope. Yokozuna Takakeisho. However, I think Takakeisho will have to wait until 2023. I predict no new Yokozuna in 2022. Sorry, Takakeisho. Right now, I just don't see Takakeisho as being at the level where he can pull off 2 Yusho level or Yusho equivalent performances back to back. He's been too inconsistent, and he's frankly just been too hurt recently. So the big question, who's gonna win the other 4 Yusho? It's Terunofuji. I believe Terunofuji is going to win 4 of the 6 Yusho this year. Get up to 10 total Yusho victories, making him an official Dai Yokozuna. Terunofuji is the sole Yokozuna, he's the alpha dog, he's wrestling better than anyone else right now. He has to be considered the favorite if he enters the tournament anywhere approaching full health. I furthermore think that every single tournament he finishes this year, he's going to get the Yusho or the jun-yusho. That is how dominant I think he is going to be this year. Now, for those of you who remember, like, the Madden rating episode, well, Terunofuji, in the past year and a half, has actually managed to improve his, like, Madden rating in the middle of his career, which, if you are a Madden fan, know that's very difficult to do. Most athletes have predictable curves. They go up, they peak, they plateau, and then they go down. Terunofuji has managed to have, I mean, no pun intended, 2 peaks. Quite a Fuji he is indeed. And oddly enough, this second iteration seems to be a much more powerful Terunofuji than the first, which is weird, because he's not as strong, he's not as fast, he doesn't have nearly as much cartilage as he had before. But now he has a plan, he has the smarts, he knows how to beat everyone at the top of the division, and now he's got the Yokozuna swag. So who's going to put dirt on Terunofuji this year? I'm excited to find out. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Dohyo. It's going to be an amazing year of fun, amazing sumo things, whatever this is. We still have the Hakuho episode coming up, more Shadow of Hakuho, of course. We have to finish that whole alternate timeline thing. And we, of course, have the predictions for the January Basho coming up very, very soon, so you're going to want to check that out. Everyone, stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you for a brilliant new year here on the Dohyo.